We've got World Superbikes next weekend here on British Eurosport 2 HD. Qualifying live from Portimao gets underway at 10 to 3 on Saturday afternoon, and all the races from the studio Sunday morning live from 11:30. Here in Bonnie, Scotland, though, it's round 4 of the British Superbike Championship, and we've just witnessed a first win for Ryuichi Kiyanari with the Build-based BMW team. Team manager Stuart Hicken is with us now. Stuart, congratulations. That must have been a long 30 laps for you.
It certainly was. It ended up, I thought it was a 24-hour race. I looked at the TV screen and on lap 6, I thought, oh no, I can't stand this much longer.
It was a perfect ride from Kyo, though. James spoke to him on the grid. He was a bit nervous, but he didn't look it once the lights went out.
No, that's the most nervous I've seen the guy.
Yeah, really.
But he made a cracking start, as I told James he would yesterday, and really controlled what he needed to do. He'd done a couple of 33-lap stints over the weekend, so we knew we had a real good pace. And he proved it, really. I mean, he is a class rider.
Yeah, we know what a talent he is. Do you think this is now the first of many? Is this kind of hopefully open the floodgates?
Well, I'd like to think so. We've been knocking the door, you know, and had a little bit of bad luck as well. And you can't always blame it on bad luck, but he has had genuine bad luck. But I think now, we should get going now, I think. OK, well, let's hope he can do it again in race 2. Thanks very much, Stuart.
Thanks
very much. Thank you.
OK, so excellent stuff then for Ryuichi Kiyanari. Let's see if he can make it a double at 4:30 this afternoon for race 2. But right now, we've got more racing for you with the Eastern Airways Sidecar Championship. Let's get straight back to James Whittam and Jack Bernacle.
This is the second race of the weekend for the Eastern Airways British Sidecar Championship Cruise, and an enthralling race yesterday was eventually won by 700ths of a second by championship leader Sean Hegarty from his nearest challenger, former champion Roger Lovelock. It was so close in the drive up to the line. It means that they are on the front row of the grid together for this second race of the weekend. This is how they stand in the championship. Hegarty, Neve on 145 points, Lovelock and Alto on 112, and then last year's runner-up Peach and Chris Richardson on 79 points. Edwards, Barrett are on 72. Chaplow and France are on 65 in 5th place ahead of Brown and Hawes. Stevens, Charlwood combo on 45 with the Kawasaki engine LCR ahead of Holland and Watson. Austrian, Grabmuller and Lawson. Bygrave and Sharp in 10th place ahead of Kershaw and Wilson. The Scottish lads hoping to do better round Knockhill. Holden and Winkle, former TT winners, in 12th place ahead of Horsepole and Pillmore Brady. And Drown and Edwards, James and Christie, Gilbert and Allen, Guy and Ransley, Bodie and Wynne, Biggs and Capewell, Kentrop and De Haas rounding out the top 20 outfits. Above a picture of the distinctive number 33 of Sean Hegarty. We've got a grid that didn't quite look what I've got in front of me here, because Sean Hegarty is definitely on pole position. Roger Lovelock will be alongside him on the front row of the grid. The second row of the grid will be headed by number 57, that's Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes. And then number 74, Ben Bygrave and Justin Sharp alongside them. Behind them, number 73, Craig Chaplow, with Patrick Ferrance, who gets everywhere, having also raced in the TT, in the third row of the grid alongside James and Christie. And the race takes off, taking us almost by surprise as they drop down the hill. Sean Hegarty, he just grabs a vital advantage over Roger Lovelock on the distinctive orange and white and green machine as they drop through turn 1. And of course these lads need a lot more room than solos, so it makes for fairly entertaining bits of fairing bashing on the way round something as short and sharp as Knockhill.
Yeah, it does, but they can also slide the things, especially on the right-handers, obviously, when the sidecar's sticking out the left and stops it tipping up. So they have got a little bit more room for kind of playing about and outbreaking each other and getting a little bit wide without actually crashing, you know.
Oh, Roger Lovelock makes a big dive down the inside into the freshly configured hairpin, and he grabs the lead. So Roger Lovelock, riding number 1, the reigning champion, grabs the advantage from the championship leader Sean Hegarty, number 33. This could develop into an entertaining little bit of fairing bashing at the front of the field here.
Yeah, Lovelock from Marlborough, and Finland, Aki Aalto, his passage completely sideways there down the hill. That cost him a lot of time. Nose to tail, actually Hegarty was touching the back of Lovelock's machine there.
So Roger Lovelock turned 50 in January this year. So I hope he had a good shindig for that with his 48-year-old Finnish passenger alongside him. Leading the way at the moment, but Hegarty will be lining up an assault as they drop into the hairpin. Not quite there.
Big pass, but did you see he got completely sideways at Hegarty? That cost him time, couldn't get the traction up the hill. These things have a tendency to spin. They got 200 brake horsepower, so 1,000cc engine, just like in a superbike. And we can see number 57 there, Brown and Hawes, having a little look, because it did cost himself time, Hegarty, out the hairpin, and that cost him the drive all the way up the hill. He's gone under Lovelock now. Oh, this is good stuff.
Now, James, the guys in third place, Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes from Sittingbourne in Kent, they've had a long trip up for this. They finished third yesterday, but they couldn't live with the leading two outfits. They're right there with them this time.
Right, watch this. Lovelock goes wide, Hegarty's at the inside. But then did you see Lovelock swap to the inside completely, really fast, and get the drive up the hill?
Well, that was great. That was more like kind of sand racing action from Roger Lovelock there as he exited the hairpin. But it's handed the advantage to Hegarty, and Brown is right in there behind them. And also, the other guys who were getting outpaced yesterday are right in the hunt now as they flash across the line. We've got Chaplow and Ferrance. Edwards is in there. Bygrave's in there, number 74. There's a big clutch of riders hanging on to the leaders.
Yeah, you can tell it's if it's busy for the solo riders around here, and physical, like we keep saying, it's absolutely unbelievably busy and physical for the sidecar passengers. They've got to swap sides several times down here where you're going from one corner to another. So now we're going into Clark's. That's a right-hander, so the sidecar passenger is over the back end of the bike on the right-hand side. Look, he has to stay a little bit there to get the traction over the back wheel. See him going his weight over that driving wheel, and then he's got to get to the other side again to get up into the hairpin, and again he'll stand over the back of the outfit. As you see the accelerate, watch, he'll stay there just to keep a little bit of weight on that back end and stop it spinning.
The leader then, Sean Hegarty, leads the way. The championship leader as well, as they surge over the top of the hill, and we get a change in place. And I think that might be Chaplow, who's just got demoted there as they go down and into the dip. There's Roger Lovelock still riding in second place. Third place, number 57, Tony Brown. Do you know the LCR Yamaha mixture of engines, but all the same chassis? There's the man who's out.
Yeah, that's a retirement. I think that's, Stevens and Charlwood, I think.
Ricky Stevens, Ryan Charlwood have come all the way from Havant in Hampshire to retire.
Yeah, lots of these sidecar outfits are southern-based, actually. They've got a lot of, in fact, your leaders are from Felixstowe. Nobody's come much further than that. Oh,
we've got a fallen passenger who's possibly been cast out when he should have been hanging on, bless him. But he's all in one piece as he hobbles off.
Well, we need to know who he's come off of.
Whoa! Bless him. Wow, he got properly tipped out then, didn't he?
Yeah, that's 99. That's actually Andy Winkle. That's the Lancashire lad that's just got thrown up the road there. That's his driver, John Holden. He's looking for him. Go pick him up. He's a tough lad, actually, is Andy Winkle.
Andy Winkle, he's the 48-year-old postman from Staffs. And there's a problem there for number 57. He goes out. That's Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes were running in third. They finished third yesterday, and they're out of the race. But Andy Winkle bounced well. Yeah, the postman will hopefully be healthy enough for his round tomorrow morning. So that left John Holden all on his own in charge of that outfit. Yeah. Meanwhile, a hard ride by Ben Bygrave, number 74. It's challenge. Oh,
and that's
a problem.
That's the bike going out, and you can tell that Hawes knew that had blown in a big way. So that's probably a massive engine blow up, that, because the passenger knew it had happened straight away, even before they pulled out of the race. Obviously, heard something or felt something.
So their retirement means number 74, the pairing of Ben Bygrave and Justin Sharp from Long Stratton on their LCR Suzuki inherit third place. They finished fourth yesterday. At the front, Hegarty's moved away.
Yep, and all these outfits in this race are the chassis at LCR, which stands for Louis Christian Racing. That's a Swiss setup, and they're all quite trick things, actually, all monocoque. They're all aluminium chassis monocoque machines. The engine's behind the driver, and these things. Quite a long machine, actually, as opposed to the Formula 2 outfits where the engine is more...
Oh, sorry, James, there was almost a spin coming out of the hairpin. He just held on to it. Sorry. Carry on.
Although that was really exciting, that, Jack, I've got to say, that near spin. I've forgotten where it was, sorry, mate.
Number 3 making a move there, Barry James and Sam Christie from Retford in Nottingham. Squeezed their way past the number 73 outfit of Craig Chaplow and Patrick Farrance. We're on the 8th lap of 15. Hegarty leads the way from Lovelock, Bygrave in 3rd place, Chaplow 4th. This is James lying in 5th place now on outfit number 3. Just ahead of Craig Chaplow and Patrick Farrance. I mentioned Farrance has already won a TT just a week or so ago with a different driver.
Yeah,
and they're under attack.
You find a lot of these drivers use various passengers. If a good passenger is obviously vital, doing a really important job with these things, so they're well sought after as a passenger. Sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's a passenger who you just know has what it takes and knows his job, because like I say, it's vitally important. They just couldn't get around anywhere near this speed unless they're completely sideways. And that's it. These things can slide, and that's sliding a lot, that number 3 machine of James and
James and Christie just struggling a little bit to stay on the tarmac. Cost them a place there, because the number 73 outfit of Nantwich is Craig Chaplow from Cheshire moves through.
Yeah, the chassis, they're all the same, all LCR outfits, but the engines are a variety of BMWs, Kawasaki and Suzuki. It used to be all Suzuki's just about there with the engine choice. You've got a big job to put. It's not just a case of getting a sports bike of your kind of preferred make and putting the engine into these outfits. Because the bike, a solo bike, works always in balance, so that you don't need any baffling. The oil will always pick up from the right place. These things, because you're going, there's a lot of centrifugal push with the engine sat horizontal. The oil sloshes from one side to the other. You can imagine that. It doesn't do that in a solo because of the way you lean the bike around the corner. So you've got a lot of baffling in the sump to do. You've got a lot of work to do to get these engines sidecarized, if you like.
No wonder they're all engineers.
No, they're all engineers, except for the postmen.
Except for the postmen. And Chapper's there, the 35-year-old from Nantwich, who's a medical sales rep running there at the moment in 4th place in that battle for honours as they come up the hill there. There's the 2nd place man, Roger Lovelock, with Alto on board. There's number 74, Bygrave, in 3rd. Then this battle going on there, led by Chappers from James Edwards, Holland. And Peach is coming into the fray as well. It's taken him a while to get going on bike number 4. The veteran Andy Peach, who finished runner-up last year, 45 years old now, started out as a passenger back in 1985. So he's only been doing this for 29 years.
Do you know, I was saying that with a solo, it's quite difficult to pass around here. And although you were dead right, this is a narrower track for these things because they're a lot wider than a solo. However, because you can slide them and run them offline, especially on the right-handers, you'll see that there is a lot more overtaking with these things. It's weird. It works the opposite of what you'd think.
Andy Peach on number 4 there has escaped from this battle. Just force your way through. There's a good lad. That's it. That'll do.
You see, that would have been a big crash if they'd have been solos. You can't rub against each other with 2 wheels.
That was number 60, Ben Holland, passenger by Lee Watson, making a move there. But look at the speed on the straight of Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett from all the way from Ringwood in Hampshire. They storm their way back up the hill and retake that place, which is 7th place. So what Holland, and can they do anything about it in that conspicuous yellow and black outfit that they've got there? That's Ben Holland, 29-year-old Benny boy from Havant, also another of the guys who's come up from the south coast. So they probably know one another pretty well. They probably travelled together. Yeah,
Holland on the Finning Cat outfit, that one there, number 60, and that they're both Kawasaki engined machines. So you would expect them to be fairly equally matched on the straight.
Storming through the hairpin there, and then the charge up the hill. Number 74, chased by number 73, and then that number 3 outfit of Barry James and Sam Christie. And here comes Andy Peach launching himself through. So Peach is once again having to make up for a really poor start and not such good qualifying, having to force his way through the field on that kind of John Player special coloured outfit, number 4.
It just crossed my mind at the same time. It is. It's a kind of black and gold John Player special. It is.
Andy Peach actually started out as a sidecar passenger to Ian Guy, who's also in this race, but not going nearly as fast as his ex-passenger. He's down in 16th place at the moment. beautiful afternoon here at Knockhill for the sidecars to enjoy on the 14th lap of 15. And the karting enthusiast from Felixstowe in Suffolk, Sean Hegarty, leading the way at the moment. Former British champion, won his first British championship back in 1999. 39 years old now, as we see Andy Peach storm once again through, make up another place this time at the expense of Cheshireman. The Cheshireman Craig Chaplow. Chappers can't do much about that, and Andy Peach has really absolutely creamed the pack here from way back in the second half of the race.
Yeah, these things work a little bit different control-wise for the solos as well. Some of these riders have the front brake at the right hand pulling a lever that works all three wheels on a bias system, so you can put what pressure you need through each corner, or some of them work with their right foot doing all the braking and don't have a lever at the front at all.
The leader's already gone through, so Roger Lovelock not able to put the pressure on as he did yesterday when it was really tight across the line. Number 1 running in second place, number 74 Bygrave in third, and Andy Peach now through to fourth ahead of Chappers, number 73, and then James, number 3, number 8 Edwards running in 7th place ahead of Holland. Kershaw, the Scottish driver, number 29, was hoping to do better on his home turf. He's in 9th place ahead of the Austrian Grabmüller.
One of the problems as a rider is you get really hot underneath that fairing. You don't move a lot, and there's a lot of heat built up by the engine, obviously, and they do get unbelievably hot in the front of those things.
Sean Hegarty, though, well, he's really led this handsomely. Once he punched his way through to the front, it was his all the way, and he's done the double again. Only defeated once so far this season, the championship leader, Sean Hegarty. Second place will go to Roger Lovelock as he storms up the hill. And look at Andy Peach trying to make a grab for a rostrum place from way downfield as they go neck and neck across the line. And I think Peach grabs it from Bygrave on the line. Terrific drive by Andy Peach, number 4. The John Player Special snags third place across the line. Chaplow in 5th, James Christie in 6th. But the win, Sean Hegarty, pretty straightforward victory really for Hegarty and his passenger James Neve on the Sean Hegarty Limited LCR Suzuki. And they just keep on winning, don't they? So that then will increase their lead in the championship. And looking very, very confident for look, Roger Lovelock, just who had such a good season last year, not quite able to live with these guys this time. And of course, that outfit has got to be, presumably, there are vans big enough for those outfits to be loaded on board to get them back to base, James.
Yeah, width-wise, they're not that wide. They will go in the back of a standard van, actually. They're quite long, though.
Applause, very polite applause there from the guys who are running in third place as the winner, Sean Hegarty, with James Neve in the chair goes past. And there beneath the towering Knockhill, the results come up with Sean Hegarty and James Neve winning that race from Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto. Third place went to Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson on the L&W Racing LCR. BMW, remember, see BMW's finishing in second and third places. And then another of the LCR Suzukis in the hands of Ben Bygrave and Justin Sharp, followed by Chaplow and Ferrance in 5th place, and Barry James and Sam Christie from Retford in 6th, ahead of Edwards, Barrett, Holland, Watson. And disappointment, really, relative for Stephen Kershaw and Rob Wilson from Blink Bonnie Quarry and the Blink Bonnie Quarry LCR Suzuki from Lauder up here in Scotland. They finished 9th ahead of Grabmüller and Lawson. 11th place for Drown and Edwards. And then Horsepole and Pillmore Brady, Biggs and Capewell, Bodie Wynn, Nicol and Connell round out the point scorers, with Ian Guy just missing out ahead of Robinson, Brown and Hawes and Holden and Winkle and Stevens Charleswood going out at three-quarter distance. Championship standings look like this. A terrific lead in the championship now for Sean Hegarty and James Neve on 170 points. Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto, can they find any way of digging into that lead? They've had one victory so far, just the one victory so far this year. They're second for LCR BMW, ahead of Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, with Edwards and Barrett, Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett from Ringwood lying in 4th place. Cheshire's Chaplow with Ferrance on board in 5th. Brown and Hawes are in 6th, ahead of Holland and Watson on 52 points. Gravmuller and Lawson on 49, 3 ahead of Bygrave and Sharp. Stevens, Charlwood wrapping up that top 10 ahead of Kershaw and Wilson. Holden and Winkle down to 12th place after that luckless DNF, with Andy Winkle tossed out of the chair. James and Christie are in 13th overall, ahead of Horsepole and Pillmore Brady, with Drown, Edwards, Gilbert, Allen, Biggs, Capewell, Bodie, Wynn, Guy and Ransley, and Kentrop de Haas all in the top 20.
Another victory for Sean Haggerty and James Neve. Sean, this is it's getting good, this, isn't it? I think you've only dropped 5 points all season.
I'm enjoying it. Just really just like riding my bike every weekend. It's really good. Me and James just seem to gel really well. We had new tyres on for that race. It just worked. I knew Rod's going to push hard, but just had to keep on and on and on. And thankfully, I broke him just every pitboard after that.
This is a physical circuit on a solo bike. What's it like on the back of an outfit, James?
Yeah, it's physical on an outfit as well. It's just everything's all at once, and you don't get time for a breather, or it's a nice track.
Okay, enjoy the podium. Well done, boys.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
Can I just say thank you to all my sponsors, which is Mum and Dad. Thank you.
Can I just say happy birthday, Laura?
Thanks, lads. Thank you very much.
And that was a brilliant start from Hegarty and his team man, James Neve. Roger Lovelock did his best to get the better of them on the opening lap and was briefly able to do so after some real seesawing. He just tried to carve his way through at Scotsman's, couldn't quite make it stick there, then went for the ultimate big dive up the inside to the hairpin. And at that point, Lovelock and Alto had the advantage on Hegarty and Neve. And then this happened. He got in a bit deep and sideways, and look at that. Hegarty just lambasted his way through, but Lovelock still had the drive up the hill. And then at Scotsman's, he managed to lose out again as Hegarty carved his way through. A big dice ensue between Ben Bygrave, Justin Sharp, number 74, and problems for number 57 had been lying in 3rd place, Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes. The furious Hawes beats the outfit. It's not going to work, I'm afraid, Ash. Number 33, though, the championship leaders, Sean Hegarty and James Neve on the Sean Hegarty Limited LCR Suzuki, looking really in control of this race all the way through. Didn't get pushed by Lovelock this time as they were yesterday, and took yet another win in the series. Lovelock a distant second, but a brilliant charge through the pack by Andy Peach, landed 4th place. Landed 3rd place. So on the podium then, in 3rd place, Andy Peach. That'll feel almost like a win for Andy Peach, 45-year-old Andy Peach, and Charlie Richardson there on the right-hand side of picture. 2nd place went to Roger Lovelock and his partner Aki Alto, and then the boys in yellow on top of the box there. Now the very tall figure of the passenger James Neve, and the much stockier figure of the 39-year-old race winner and championship leader Sean Hegarty. So the championship spray, the champagne gets sprayed. Most of the boys don't seem to want to bother with it. I think they're saving that for later on the trip home.
Yeah, I think that champagne is going to get drunk, isn't it? Every drop, and all of it well-deserved as well. OK, we're going to take a quick break now. When we come back, though, we've got more racing to come. The Moto Star Championship is next.